Crusades lead to the Renaissance again?
All right, Crusades are connected up to the Renaissance because with the Crusades you have the development of the banking system. Because when you go on crusade, you take all of your gold with you.
The bankers.
Yeah. So because of the fact that you need to buy things on credit, not take all your money with you, there's the development of banking. The Medici family in Florence, who were like the big supporters of art, they were one of the premier banking families. So it was banking that helped fund the Renaissance. Yes?
Can you explain the Empire and the Republic of the...
Okay. The Roman Republic is kind of like our government in that we had, it had the Senate. The senators represented only your wealthy patricians. Then you had
Consuls?
you.
Was it consuls?
Mm-hmm. Well, the consuls were like, think of the president split up into 3 people. Those would be the consuls. And then your legislature, you had the Senate and you had the Assembly. Senators represented the patricians, tribunes, and the Assembly represented pretty much everyone else. The Assembly didn't really have that much power. They could only make some sort of rules for that only governed the plebeians, the regular folk. They could never do any rules that would affect patricians.
And wait, what the consuls do?
The consuls were basically the heads of state, the head executives. And so when you take a look at the fall of the Republic, yeah, there were high taxes. They tried to expand too much, too quickly. Remember, they got into that civil war because of the fact that you had that huge gap between the haves and the have-nots. And the Gracchus brothers were saying, you know, you can't keep expanding the empire, promising to give money to soldiers, but you're not going to give the money to the soldiers until the war's over, and in the meantime, they've lost their family farms. So remember, we have really high unemployment at the end of the Republic. The Gracchus brothers were killed during a riot. Julius Caesar was the one who came in, got named dictator because he helped restore order, and then he was assassinated. That started the fight for control between Octavian, who was Caesar's nephew, and Mark Antony, who was Caesar's favorite general. Mark Antony paired up with Cleopatra because at that point in time Rome and Egypt had a political alliance. But Octavian beat him. And so, because they were so thankful, the Roman Senate bestowed upon Octavian the title of first citizen, gave him the name Augustus, and it's under Augustus he slowly becomes more and more like a dictator, taking over absolute control, and it's during his reign that we switch from the Republic to the Empire. The Roman Empire fell because of those wonderful Goths coming in and invading. You also had poor leadership. Remember, we went through that time period that we had like 26 emperors within 50 years. And because of that, you've got the bad leadership. Because of all the invasions, we keep taxing people more and more and more to help pay for the military. But remember, we had split the Roman Empire into the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire. Who had more of the wealth, West or East? East, because a lot of the wealth was in Constantinople. Where were most of the military fights going on? In the West. Can't pay for the military, so you have too high taxes, you have poor leadership, you have invasions. Are 3 key ingredients for why empires fall.
Wait, so the Roman Republic was before Augustus and then it turned into the Roman Empire?
Right.
What's the stirrup?
The stirrup, it's attached to the saddle, that's where your feet rest. Didn't have a stirrup beforehand. So with the Goths, because of the fact that he has a stirrup, that now means that you can control your horse with your legs very easily. You can stay seated in the saddle, which opens up your arms for shooting your bow and arrow or wielding your sword. So you get a military advantage. Okay. What about religions? You only have Christianity and Islam, really. Sikhism is going to come up if we talk about like what religion was started under Akbar. It is the combination of Hindu and Islam. So questions here, Sarah?
What are the basic tenets of Islam?
All right. Remember, you have 5 basic tenets of Islam. Anyone remember what they are? The 5 pillars. So there's 5 pillars. Anyone know any of them? What do you?
Like the proclamation of faith.
All right, the proclamation of faith. There is one God, Allah. There is no other God but Him. Do you know any of the others?
The pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage. You have to go on the Hajj, going to Mecca.
Giving to the poor.
Charity. You must give to the poor. Give 2 more.
Wait, what's the pilgrimage?
That's when you go on the Hajj, that H-A-J-J. Remember, Mansa Musa went on the Hajj. That's when you travel to Mecca and you go to that big block-style building.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we have proclamation of faith, we have charity, we have pilgrimage. We have 2 more. Sean?
Fasting in Ramadan.
Yeah, fasting during Ramadan. And we have 1 more.
Isn't it like 5 daily prayers?
Yeah, you have the daily prayers. There are 5 that you kind of have to do, and then you can do more if you want to. And remember, which city are you facing when you're praying?
Mecca.
Mecca. So if you're here in the United States, you could be facing east.
Does the order of these matter?
No. I don't care what order you put them down. Any other questions about religion? Right. Let me pull up the next thing. Middle Ages, Northern Europe. All right, while you do that, I need to check and see if I have to switch the cassette tape yet. Okay, I have about 10 more minutes before I can switch up. Yes?
What were the actual age religions?
All right, axial age religions. These are your monotheistic religions. So you've got 5 of them that we looked at. Anyone remember them?
This is monotheistic. Hindu, Islam, Christianity, Judaism.
Okay. So remember, Zoroaster's at the middle. So off of Zoroaster and Zoroastrianism, you get your 5 big major religions that exist today. The 3 that all kind of go together are Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Because Christianity builds on Judaism, Islam builds on the other 2. And then you have 2 of your Indian religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. So those are your 5 axial age religions. Other questions?
Can we go over Charlemagne?
Okay. Charlemagne was the first Holy Roman Emperor. He was the leader of the Franks. So remember, once Rome falls, do we have another great leader that comes up immediately and unites everyone in Western Europe? No, we break off. And so we have kind of like little tribes almost. One of those kind of groups of people are the Franks, and they're located in what we now know as France. Charlemagne